If you've been grinding out Minecraft PvP but you haven't seen any improvement, I'm going to teach you how you can get that improvement in under 10 minutes. Let's go. So before we get into our first tip, I just want to say that in the bottom left corner here, there's going to be 2 Minecraft hearts. This is going to gauge how difficult the tip I'm giving you is. If it's half a heart, it's not that difficult. If it's 1 heart, then it's like, it's fine. It's actually pretty easy, but you know, it's more difficult than if it was just half. If it's a heart and a half, then that means it's a little more. If it's a heart and a half, that means it's a little more difficult, and if it's 2 hearts, that means it's extremely difficult. So with that in place, let's get into our first tip. So our first tip will be to install a low fire PvP pack. Now I have one on right now, but as you can see, if I just light a flint and steel here, this fire is really low. This is because in the default pack, when you get lit on fire, which you commonly will see in PvP due to fire aspect swords, flint and steels, lava buckets, all that good stuff, the fire overlay will usually come up to like here. Like this base part will be like right here in the default pack, and you won't be able to see anything over there. That's where low fire packs come in place. Basically, what this does is it just makes the fire texture like a lot lower than it is in the default game, meaning that the on fire overlay is a lot lower, allowing you to easily see your opponent and you can hit them a lot. Low fire packs are very, very useful, and that is my first tip to get better at PvP. Install a low fire pack. So my next tip for getting better at PvP is to have good bow accuracy. Now, basically what I mean by this is that you should never put your crosshair right on where you want to hit, because it's not going to hit there. What you want to do is you want to aim slightly above it so that it will hit there every time. This ranges depending on how far away the target is. However, the farther away the target is, basically the good way to remember this is that however far the target away is, you just move your crosshair up accordingly. Take a good estimate at what you think it's going to be, since you're giving the arrow a bigger arch. This is a lot different on Bedrock Edition, but Minecraft 1.8 PvP is on Java Edition, so you're going to have to deal with it. But yeah, bow accuracy. Very, very important to learn how to do properly. So the farthest distance that you can hit something. So the farthest distance that you can hit something from in Minecraft is 3 blocks, just like this. This is the farthest that you can hit. So, in order for you to be able to heal, you're going to want to keep people at least 3 blocks away from you, utilizing snowballs, fishing rods, eggs, all that good stuff, because if they're 3 blocks away from you, they can't hit you and you have time to heal, and if you, as a bonus, you get to knock them back a little bit while you're running, so then you can just get even farther away. You can heal and then you can go back in for your sword fight. Keep the distance of at least 3 blocks away. So let's say as an example that you're getting chased by someone in a fight. We'll use this test subject as someone, and they're catching up to us. Oh, they just did a bunch of damage. We're low. They have really good armor. What we can do is we can use ender pearls. Ender pearls are a god tier item for any level player, because all you gotta do, flip around quickly, pearl, and then pull out your golden apples or whatever item you're using to heal up. You can even use an ender pearl to get back in the battle after you've healed, and now you're healing. If you're confident in your sword skills, at least you'll get back in the battle, but if you're not, you'll spend a little more time to heal. Just remember that on servers that don't let you have ender pearls that don't deal damage, ender pearls will do 2.5 hearts of damage when you pearl without armor. So just remember that fact. And if you can, use ender pearls, because they are absolute god tier items for any sort of scenario, whether that be offensive play or defensive play. So our next tip is to use speed potions. And speed can be really useful if you need to get away from something, because as implied, speed can make you a lot faster than your opponent. However, there is a certain rule that comes with speed. So we all know that sprint jumping is the fastest method of travel in Minecraft, right? And with speed 1, that's still true. However, once you go to speed 2 or above, the fastest method is no longer sprint jumping, but rather just regular sprinting. That's right, if you have speed 2 or above, just sprint normally, do not sprint jump, because this is actually slower than this, okay? Just don't sprint jump with speed 2 or higher, and only sprint jump if you don't have speed or you have speed 1. Alright, so my next tip is to do critical hits, but don't do them all the time. Basically, I think that you should only do a critical hit on the first engagement of a fight. And basically what that means is that if you're running at your opponent, the first hit that you do, in my opinion, should always be a critical hit, because it will deal more damage, and then from that point, do critical hits. What I also mean is that if you ever have to run away in a battle, per se, to heal, or you have to like pearl away, and when you come back in. When you come back in from pulling away or healing, make sure that your first hit will be the critical hit, and then keep doing hits just normally otherwise. If you don't know how to do a critical hit, you only have to, you know how you can attack by clicking, you just have to attack while falling. Now, if you're jumping up, it won't work, but if you're falling, you will do a critical hit. So any first hit in an entire fight should be a critical hit, and then every subsequent hit after that should be just a regular hit. Although you can sprinkle in a couple critical hits if you would like to deal that little extra bit of damage. Just do not always be critical hitting, because we will discuss that in a later tip, okay? We all know that Minecraft 1.8 swords are famous for being able to block. However, players use techniques to make sure that they can hit while blocking. As you can see, if I'm just blocking, I can't hit. However, if I click left and right click at the same time, it should look like that. That's a block hit. Basically, you should do these basically a lot. It's not like the critical hit where it should be the first engagement. You should be block hitting a lot, because blocking allows you to take 50% less damage, and then doing the block hit allows you to deal damage and also take 50% less damage as you're attacking. That way, you're minimizing your damage that you are taking, and you are maximizing your damage that you are outputting. The only sort of cutback when you do block hit is sacrificing some of your movement speed. However, that shouldn't be a problem if you don't click fast. If you click fast, then it might be a bit of a problem. However, if you don't click fast, it should be completely fine. I like to block hit a lot. However, you can block hit however much you like. Just make sure that you're block hitting at some point within a fight. Alright, so my next tip is strafing. Now, basically, if you go into a fight straight, like this, your opponent will be able to hit you out of it. It'll be a combo breaker, and you won't be able to get that sweet, sweet combo off, which is what we're going to discuss later. However, if you're strafing, it's going to be a lot harder for your opponent to get that hit. There's tons of kinds of strafing. There's A and D strafing, there's zigzag strafing, which I think is just A and D strafing. There's circle strafing, where you sort of make a half circle and then you switch the other way. And there's even counter strafing, which you'd know what that is if you played Counter-Strike, which is where you move one direction, then you hit the opposite key to stop your momentum, you move the other direction, blah blah blah. Do that. However, I wouldn't recommend counter strafing because it doesn't really seem effective within Minecraft. However, strafing is a very, very big part of why some PvPers are able to make themselves almost impossible to hit, because they have mastered the strafing techniques that will allow them to not get hit. So yeah, strafe when you can. Just practice strafing a little bit in a single player world on a thing like an iron golem with your fist. It'll definitely make a huge, huge difference, okay? So my next tip is to never ever pass up on the opportunity to use strength. If you're in a fight and you're able to splash strength or get away for like a little while and then drink strength and then go in, always do that. As you can see with these creepers, this is just a regular diamond sword that does 7 damage. It takes 1, 2, 3 hits to kill this man. With strength 1, it only takes 1, 2. However, with strength 2, the highest level strength you can get in normal legit gameplay, it takes 1 hit with unenchanted diamond swords, okay? That's crazy. And the reason that this is so powerful is because it's 1.8, and in 1.8 strength is super broken. It's plus 130% for strength 1 and plus 260% for strength 2. And the percents is percent attack damage. Basically, it'll be 260% of 7, which means that that's gonna be like 14.6 damage or whatever. And mix that in with critical hits, you're gonna have a very, very good time just plowing through all of your opponents. Never pass up on the opportunity to use strength, even if it's just strength 1. Alright, so this next tip's actually pretty simple. It's just pre-gapping. Basically what pre-gapping is that before you go into a fight, just eat a golden apple, if you have one. This gives you plus 4 health, or 2 hearts of absorption, of the absorption effect, which just gives you more hearts, as we see here. And this will give you the health advantage if the other person does not pre-gap by 4 health. That is huge, especially if the other person has strength, as you'll be able to survive more than 1 hit with strength too. So, very, very important for you to pre-gap if you can. Always pre-gap. And the thing is that you should always pre-gap even if they pre-gap, because then if you don't, you'll be at the 4 health disadvantage, and we don't want that. So if you're able to pre-gap, always do it. It's just a very good idea and gives you a tactical advantage if you do and they don't. Alright, so our next topic is sprint resetting, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You're just resetting your sprint, whether that be from tapping W, tapping S, or even blocking with a sword. It's whatever makes your screen do the effect where it zooms in a little bit. See, when you sprint in vanilla Minecraft, or if you have dynamic FOV on in Optifine, when you sprint in Minecraft, your screen sort of zooms out a little bit to give you a nice little FOV effect. It looks very nice on the eyes. But whatever makes your FOV zoom back in, like that, that's effectively a sprint reset, okay? So things that can do that, like I've said before, is letting go of W, tapping S, or blocking with a sword. So effectively, all these methods will do sprint resetting. Now, however, the reason that we do this is because the first hit of every battle is going to do the most knockback. So basically, as we can see there, if we just run at this guy, every subsequent hit after the first hit is going to do progressively less knockback than the first one, at which point they'll just be able to hit us out of our combo. Even if we mix it with strafing, it'll still do less less knockback every time. So what we do is we use sprint resetting to send them the farthest that they can, because we're effectively getting the first hit of our sprint every single time we sprint reset. And as you can see, when I'm doing S tapping, which is just tapping S to reset a sprint, we are getting the farthest hit that we can possibly get on every single sprint hit, as opposed to not doing anything and just having them go like that. So yeah, always sprint reset. It lets you deal more knockback and gives you an advantage in battle. So in Minecraft PvP, you need to get combos in order to dish out like a lot of damage at once. Basically, combos can be as simple as just starting it with your fist and just strafing around and sprint resetting, and then locking your opponent into a combo in which they can't hit you really, and they get lucky if they hit you, and that would be the combo breaker. However, there's 4 types of combos. There's just melee combos, fishing rod combos, bow combos, and projectile combos. One main thing that I want to point out here is that every single combo is only different because of what the first hit is, and everything after it is going to be just the same as a melee combo. So a melee combo, like I said, is when you just run into your opponent using the strafing, the sprint resetting techniques, maybe a couple critical hits, and you're just trying to make it so that they can't hit you as much as possible, and you're hitting them as much as possible too. So basically, that's a melee combo. Now, a fishing rod combo is when you put your rod on someone and then you start hitting them. And so basically, do not reel in your rod when doing a rod combo. All you gotta do is just switch off the rod to another thing and then do the melee combo. Because as I said, every combo after this first hit, every subsequent hit will just be the melee combo. So basically, rod combos started by just rodding your opponent, dealing a little bit of knockback, and then going for the melee combo. Bow combos are a little bit different, but they're kind of the same thing. You just charge up your bow really slow. Just charge up your bow really slow like that. You fire it, and then you just do a melee combo like this, and then you're in a bow combo. Basically, started off with a bow. Same thing as really as the rod combo. Lastly, snowball combo or egg combo. More or less the projectile combo. Just get one hit with a projectile and then do the melee combo. Like I said, every subsequent hit after the first hit will be the melee combo. They just have different names because of how you start them. So yeah, melee combo, fishing rod combo, bow combo, and projectile combo. Next tip, MLG water. Extremely important skill to have. You never know when you might fall off a cliff in combat and you need to save yourself with the water bucket. It's not that hard to master. It's all about rhythm and just realizing when you should place the water. I still mess it up sometimes, but I am pretty decent at it. And basically, it'll just save you at one point in battle, okay? You fall off a cliff, maybe you need to jump down because you're on like half a heart, but you don't want to take damage. Just MLG water. It's that simple. Just place the water bucket on you as you're about to hit the ground, and you will take no damage whatsoever. So this next tip directly takes advantage of one of the last tips we discussed, which was block hitting. Basically, when you're block hitting, you're left and right clicking at the same time to block and hit at the same time. Now, what you can do to take advantage of people who only do that is that if you have like a block that opens up like a GUI, like a chest, a crafting table, a furnace, a brewing stand, an enchantment table, any of those blocks, just place it down, and when they're blocking, they'll open the GUI, they'll be confused, so it'll take like 1 or 2 seconds to close it, and then you can just get off a melee combo, rod combo, bow combo, projectile combo, anything. Placing down blocks with GUI is extremely important because they might accidentally click it, and then it will open up the GUI, and then they'll be confused, and then you can get an easy combo off of that. So yeah, if you have a block that opens a GUI, place it down. They might accidentally click it and open the GUI. Alright, and our last tip for today is low ground advantage. Basically, you've probably heard someone say low ground advantage before when talking about PvP, but you might not have known really how it works. Basically what it is that your reach in Minecraft is 3 blocks, and that's, give or take, it's 3 blocks no matter what you say. However, your reach can actually be shortened and lengthened by this number right here, your pitch. The closer that this number is to 0, the further you'll be able to reach. So basically, by having the low ground, the opponent up here has to look down, causing their reach or their ray trace to be shorter, meaning that they'll have a harder time hitting you, while you're here aiming at their feet at basically 0, meaning that you have exactly 3 blocks of reach right here. They'll have a harder time hitting you because maybe they only have 2.5 blocks of reach by looking down like at a 50-degree angle or whatever. However, you're looking at a 0-degree angle, meaning that you have more reach than them. It's basically Pythagorean theorem at this point. However, you know, or trigonometry, however you want to say it. But low ground advantage is good. Always get the low ground advantage because subsequently you have more reach. Okay, we're in Hypixel UHC Duels here. I have keystrokes on so that you guys can see my my taps, so I just pre-gapped there, or at least my sprint resetting. So we're gonna try and get a rod combo to start off here, and there we go. We just got a big health advantage right there. I have this problem where I forget to switch off my rod and I start hitting people with a fishing rod. That's never good. This guy's gonna try and golden apple. He's gonna fail at it though. He's gonna golden head, but I'm gonna win because I was able to block it, and I don't think he was. Alright, here we are in another UHC duel. We are going to pre-gap so that we get the health advantage. He did, however, he's gonna try and shoot us with a bow here. We're gonna get a bow shot off so that we can get the small health advantage. So basically, one thing that is important to take into consideration is that sometimes people don't take knockback because they have worse pings. So that's one thing to keep intact. But we did get the combos off and we did do sprint resetting, so we did get the win there. So here we are in a Hypixel Classic duel. This gives us just the bare minimum gear to be called a duel. You know, you get a sword, a fishing rod, a bow, and a flint and steel. Didn't really go over using the flint and steel all too much. However, we'll use it, I guess, at some point in this game. We just got off a really good combo utilizing the strafing, and we just won because we shot him with a bow. So strafing and sprint resetting really did its work there. Very, very good. So here we are in a sumo duel. The goal of this game is to knock your opponent off the platform using sprint resetting techniques. So somehow I'm getting carpet. I don't know how, but this match was actually very easy to win, as we have knocked him off the platform using S-tapping. As you can tell, this is why it's important to sprint reset. Anyways, guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure that you drop a like, and if you found it helpful in any way, you should subscribe and turn on post notifications. I'm gonna be making a Minecraft 1.9 tutorial in a few days, so be sure to stay tuned for that if you want to learn how to do 1.9 PvP. If it's out now, I'll put it here on the end screen so that you can just watch it right now. But with that, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys all later, and goodbye.